Our topic for today is all about sum and product of the roots of quadratic equations. So if the roots of quadratic equations ax squared plus bx plus c are x sub 1 and x sub 2, then the sum of the product of the roots of quadratic equations are given as, so kapag inad natin yung mga roots ng quadratic equations, so the formula for that is negative b over a. At kapag naman yung mga roots ay minultiply natin, the formula for that is c over a. So for you to understand how important this formula are, I'm gonna give you an example. So which is x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay, so first, let's solve the roots of this equation using factoring. So, ano ba yung mga factors ng 25? The factors for 25 is 5 times 5. At kailangan natin makakuha ng negative 10, which is the numerical coefficient sa middle term. So, for us to get negative 10, ano kaya magiging sign ni 5 at saka ni 5? So, dapat parehas silang negative. So, the same sign we add. Then, copy the sign of the biggest number when we absolute. And now, since we are dealing with a variable x yung isusulat ko dito. And then, ikakopy natin si negative 5. And then, the same thing din dito sa kabila, which is also negative 5. Okay, para makuha natin yung first root, kailangan nating mag-focus sa first factor na nakuha natin, which is x minus 5. So, we have x minus 5 equals 0. Bring down x equals. Kapag nilipat natin si negative 5 sa kabila, siya ay magiging positive 5. And this is our first root, which is yung nakalagay dito. Okay, so hanapin naman natin yung pangalawang roots na nakukuha natin. So, gagamitin natin yung pangalawang factor. So, we have x minus 5 equals 0. Then, x equals, pag tinranspose natin si negative 5, magiging positive 5. And this is our second root. Okay, so, kung kukunin natin ang sum ng roots ng x squared minus 10x plus 25, we're just gonna have to add these two roots, di ba? So, 5 plus 5, the answer is 10. Ibig sabihin, yung sum ng roots ng x squared minus 10x plus 25 is 10. Kasi 10 pag inad, di ba? How about kapag pinag-multiply naman natin yung dalawang roots? Ano kaya magiging sagot? So, 5 times 5, the answer is 25. And this is our product of the roots. Okay. Ngayon, without using this process na kailangan pa natin kunin yung mga roots, meron tayong simplest way to get the sum and product of the roots. So, paano yung gagamitin lang natin yung formula? Okay, try natin use the formula for the sum of the roots, which is negative b over a. So, we have negative b over a. So, copy negative. And then, yung value ng b natin is, anong value ng b natin dito sa equation? That is negative 10. Okay? So, negative 10. I-over natin sa a. Ano ba yung value ng a natin dito? 1. Okay. Negative times negative 10, the answer is positive 10 over 1. Then, 10 divide 1, the answer is 10, which is yung sagot dito. Diba? So, instead of doing all of this solution, just simply use this formula to get the sum of the roots. So, how about the product? Paano natin kinukuha? Just simply use the formula C over A. Okay, so ano bang isusort muna natin na C over A. Okay, so this is product. C over A. Yung C natin dito is the constant, which is positive 25. And then yung value naman ng A natin dito ay 1. Diba? So, 25 divide 1, the answer is 25, which is the product of the roots. And, ganun ka-importante yung paggamit ng mga formula na to para mas madali para sa atin na isolve ang sum and products of the roots. So, the question is, how do we get this formula? Saan ko nakuha tong mga formula na to? Okay, first, let's discuss the sum of the roots of quadratic equation. So, I know you are familiar with the quadratic formula, and then we all know that quadratic formula is used to find the roots of a quadratic equations. And yung formula for that is x is equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. At para makuha natin yung first root, di ba ang ginagawa natin is ginagamit muna natin yung positive sign. At para naman makuha natin yung pangalawang roots, ang ginagamit naman natin is yung minus sign or yung negative sign. So, kung napapansin niyo dito, since we are talking about the sum of the roots of quadratic equation, pinag-add natin silang dalawa. Okay? So, since they have the same denominator, kinopya ko lang, then bring down negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Since positive to, everything na sign dito is hindi magbabago. Diba? Positive times negative b pa rin. Positive times negative square root of b squared minus 4ac is negative square root of b squared minus 4ac. So, kung napapansin ninyo, itong part na to, this part, kapag minus natin dito, is cancel, magiging 0. Diba? Kasi they have the same term but different sign. So, makakancel yan. Okay, so let's cancel it. And then, ang matitira na lang is negative b and then yung isang pang negative b. So, negative b minus b, the answer is negative 2b. And then, copy the denominator, 2a. And then, we cancel 2. So, ano na lang natira? Negative b over a. At dyan nakuha ang formula for the sum of the roots of quadratic equation. Para naman sa product of the roots of quadratic equations, so the same thing din yung gagawin natin. Diba? Kapag kinukuha natin yung first root of quadratic equation, we use the positive sign, and then we use the negative sign for the second root. And then, we multiply these two roots together since product yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay, kung napapansin niyo yung numerator niya is the factor of difference of two squares. Okay, so it is easier for us to multiply these two terms na nasa taas. Okay, so negative b times negative b squared then minus twice ng pangalawang term, which is the square root of b squared minus 4ac, then raised to 2. Ito yung product of a difference of 2 square. So, yung nasa denominator naman, kinopya ko lang 2a and then squared. Kasi dalawa sila. Diba? Okay. So, negative b times negative b, positive b squared. Kung napapansin nyo dito, makakancel. Diba yung sa extracting the square root? Okay, so maiiwan si negative times b squared minus 4ac. The answer is negative b squared plus 4ac. So, bakit naging positive? Kasi negative times negative, naging positive. And then, makakancel to. Ang matitira na lang, 4ac over 4a squared. And then, quotient rule. Makakancel si, anong ginagawa? Pag quotient rule, we subtract the exponent. Okay, so a squared minus a na lang. So, since mas mataas yung exponent yung nasa baba, dito natin ilalagay yung sagot. At dito nakuha ang formula na c over a for the product of the roots of quadratic equations. So, now i-apply na natin yung lahat ng mga napag-aralan natin, which is sum and product of the roots of quadratic equations. So, let's apply this. For our first example, we have x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So, hanapin natin yung sum and product of the roots of these quadratic equations. So, before that, hanapin muna natin yung mga values ng a, b, and c. So, dapat naka-standard form yan. A, B, and C. Ang value ng A ay yung numerical coefficient ng x squared, which is 1. Value ng B is negative 7. Ang value naman ng C natin is positive 6. Then, solve muna natin yung sum of the roots of quadratic equations. So, which is, yung formula is negative B over A. Copy negative sign dito sa formula. Then, what is the value of B? Negative 7. Then, over, ano bang A natin? Ang A natin is 1. Okay? So, negative times negative 7, the answer is positive 7. Tandaan ninyo the same sign, positive, over 1. 7 divide 1, the answer is 7. At ito yung solution natin for the sum of the roots. Ngayon, solve naman natin yung product of the roots of quadratic equations. So, yung formula ulit is C over A. Ang value ng C natin dito is 6. While yung value naman ng A natin is 1. 6 divide 1, the answer is 6. And this is the product of the roots. So now, we have the second example. 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. So first, hanapin muna natin yung mga values ng A, B, and C. Ang value ng A natin is 2. Value ng B natin is negative 5. Ang value ng C natin is positive 2. So first, solve muna natin yung sum of the roots, which is negative B over A. Yun yung formula. Copy the sign negative, B sa formula. Then, yung value ng B natin is negative 5. Over. Ano ba yung A natin? That is 2. Equals. Negative times negative 5. The answer is positive 5 over 2. So, ngayon, hindi natin sila pwedeng ipag-divide. Tama? So, this is our final answer. Para to sa sum. Ngayon, para naman sa product. Okay, ano nga ulit yung formula ng product of the roots? C over A. So, ang value ng C natin ay 2. Ang value naman ng A natin is also 2. Okay? Ngayon, 2 divide 2. The answer is 1. At ito naman ang product of the roots. For our third example, we have k squared equals 9. So, first, kailangan muna natin itong i-arrange in standard form kasi hindi siya naka-standard form, tama? So, kailangan ilipat natin si 9 sa kabila. So, we have x squared. Pag nilipat mo si positive 9, magiging negative 9 equals 0. And that's the right time na maglalagay na tayo ng values ng A, B, and C. So, ang value ng A natin dito is 1. Tandaan ninyo, ang value ng A is the numerical coefficient of x squared. Ano naman ang value ng B natin? May nakikita ba kayong K? Wala, di ba? Since wala, ang value ng B natin ay 0. Di magkakamali dyan. And then yung constant natin, ang value ng constant natin, which is yung C, alam natin na yung constant stands for yung number lang na without the literal coefficient, which is negative 9. Okay, tandaan ninyo yung C Yun yung constant term, yung walang x o walang variable na katabi. Okay, so huwag yung pagbabalik na rin itong dalawa na to. Okay, so solve na natin yung sum of the roots for these equations. We have negative b over a. Copy the sign, negative. And then yung value ng b natin is 0 over. Ang a natin is 1. 0 divide 1, the answer is 0. And this is our sum of the roots. Okay, so paano naman yung product of the roots? So gagamit tayo ng formula, which is c over a. Ang value ng c natin dito is negative 9. While yung value naman ng a natin is 1. So, negative 9 divide 1, the answer is negative 9. And this is the product of the roots for this equation. So, now, for our fourth example, we have 6m squared minus 5 equals 0. So, naka-standard form na siya. Tama? So, now, pwede na natin kunin ang values ng a, b, and c. Ang value ng a natin dito is 6. Ang value ng b kaya natin? Walang value ang b natin kasi walang m. Yeah, wala yung m. So, ibig sabihin, 0 ulit yung b natin. And then yung c natin, which is yung number lang, that is negative 5. Okay. So, solve for the sum of the roots. So, the formula is negative b over a. So, copy negative. Yung b natin dito is 0 over natin sa 6, which is yung value ng a, di ba? So, 0 divide 6 is 0. Okay, so ito na ulit yung sum natin. So, paano naman sa product? Use the formula, which is c over a. Ang c natin dito is negative 5. Ang a naman natin dito ay 6. Negative 5 divide 6. Hindi natin pwedeng i-divide, di ba? And this is our final answer for the product of the roots of this equation. For our fifth example, we have 3x squared minus 4x equals 2. So, kung napapansin natin, hindi siya naka-standard form. So, kailangan muna natin i-standard form para mahanap natin yung values ng a, b, and c. So, yung 2, kailangan nating ilipat sa kabila. Okay, so bring down, just copy 3x squared minus 4x. Pag nilipat natin sa positive 2 sa kabila, magiging negative 2 na siya. Then equals 0 kasi wala nang natira. Okay, naka-standard form na siya. Pwede na natin kunin yung value ng a, b, at saka c. So, yung value ng a is the numerical coefficient of x squared, which is 3. Yung b natin is the linear term. Yung numerical coefficient ng linear term, which is negative 4. Yung c natin, yung number lang, o yung constant term, which is negative 2. So, use the formula para makuha natin yung sum of the roots of this equation, which is negative b over a. Copy negative sa formula. Then, yung b natin is negative 4 over. Ano bang value ng a natin? That is 3. So, negative times negative 4, the answer is positive 4. Naging positive na. Then, copy over 3. So, pwede ba natin silang i-divide? Hindi. So, ayan na yung final answer natin for the sum of the roots of this equation. So, how about the product? Just simply write the formula c over a equals, ang value ng c natin ay negative 2. i-over natin sa, ano ba yung value ng A? 3. Since hindi naman sila pwedeng i-divide, ayan na yung final answer for our product. So for our last example, we have x squared minus 9 equals 0. So naka-standard form na siya. So let's identify the values of A, B, and C. Ang value ng A natin dito ay 1. Yun yung numerical coefficient ng may exponent na 2, which is yung x squared. So 1. Yung value ng B natin is 0 kasi walang x. Diba? Walang x term dito. So 0. And then yung value naman ng C natin is yung constant term o yung number lang. So negative 9. O ngayon, pwede natin kunin yung sum of the roots of these equations. So the formula for that is negative B over A. So copy negative. Yung B natin is 0. I-over natin sa value ng A, which is 1. So negative 0 divide 1 is 0. This is for the sum of the roots of this equation. So how about the product of the roots? So use the formula C over A. Yung C natin is negative 9 over, ano ba yung value ng A natin? 1. So negative 9 divide 1, the answer is negative 9. And this is our answer for the product.